Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW3 battle for you today, and today we do have another historical one as we are trying to recreate the Battle of Somosierra, fought in 1808 between the French, the Bonapartist Spanish, the Duchy of Warsaw, or as we know them, the Polish Legion, against the other Spain, basically, the royalist Spains, or one that are still loyal to the old monarch that has been deposed by Napoleon. So yes, this is a pretty unknown battle, but it's actually one of these battles that the Polish lancers, which are way back here, actually do get their claim to fame. So there was about 150 or so Polish lancers at this battle. I actually think we have a similar sort of number actually as they did in history. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. But yes, in the battle in history, they actually charge up a hill and take out multiple Spanish batteries. So in this battle, there's about 4 layers of Spanish defense. So as you can see, the first layer is already here. The artillery are already dueling with each other. Oh my gosh! That guy went flying back! And another one went flying back! Oh my gosh! Rip in peace those guys. And the guns nearly routed just like that. Wow! But yeah, so yeah, in this battle, there's about 4 layers. So there's 1 layer there. There is already a second layer here. And the third and fourth are fairly close together as well. Or it might be the second and third are quite close to each other, actually. So we are going to see like a layered defense. And it's going to be quite a narrow sort of battle, so it'll be interesting to see how this one goes down, that is for sure. Napoleon was present at this battle, obviously with his guard cavalry as his bodyguard. So yes, he sent these guys in. This is a French victory, and the French lost about 300 men to about 2,200. It's kind of a small-sized battle, really. In comparison to some other ones that come along. But yes, we do have all of like Joseph's corps here in the front lines, the Spanish loyal to the Bonaparte regime. So we've got like Spanish, we've got some Nassaus here. I think we do actually have some guard Spanish here as well. So we do have Fusiliers of the Royal Guard. So there's some pretty decent units here, and I think with Grenadiers, yeah, the Royal Guard here as well. So now there's some pretty good units. We also have Dorsen, who is made up of a lot of young guard here, and we also have more young guard here, and I also think they have the Poles. So this is one of the rules for the Dorsen corps. You can only bring guard and Poles. So that is exactly what they have here today. So it is very limited when it comes to sort of like cavalry. And there's more. Looks like we've got some chasseurs here, and we have more guard waiting back here. We actually have middle guard. So it's a Fusilier Grenadier, a very sexy unit there. They do have some sexy looking uniforms of the French Guard, I'm not going to lie. These units do look amazing. But yeah, there is another corps on the way here. We have Suchet, he's on his way, he's going to be the final one, and he's got a lot of the more like just typical French units here, just the more like bulky line infantry units. He also does have some Poles. We have some Vistula Legion here. Good to go, and yeah, it just seems like he's another Vistula Legion and more like Poles and stuff. He has a sapper as his general, which is quite funny, I think. We do have also one very nice cuirassier, which might be able to make a big difference. We'll see. The Spanish do have a limitation on cav. They have about 2 units per army, so it's about 8 cav on the Spanish side. But to be honest, the French don't seem like they have much more. With those expensive like lancers, which is the only sort of units they could really bring. For 2 of the armies, they are kind of limited for cav. Again, with the cuirassiers as well, kind of limited. But hopefully that cuirassier can take out multiple Spanish cav without taking too many losses itself. It's unlikely we were thinking that... Oh, he's getting up. Good to see Jose. Jose's getting up. You know, brush it off, mate. Brush it off. But yes, it's unlikely we were thinking that the Spanish were going to bring a heavy cav unit to really... because they're going to need the money spent elsewhere to try and challenge us. This is what we were thinking anyway, but we'll see. We'll see how this one goes down. But yes, if you're enjoying the NTW3 action and would like to see some more historical battles, or just generally just more Napoleonic battles, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment showing support. It really does help out the channel. And yeah, I think this one is getting underway fairly shortly. We just got like our old guard artillery, like horse artillery pounding this gun, and we also have I think it's a Royal Guard, yeah, Spanish Royal Guard. Earlier, they're also pounding the guns here. And that's their aim, is to try and take this out, try and weaken that, maybe just remove it before they push up infantry. Though we are seeing Laguerre now moving up here. We've got Voltaguer's Laguerre of the Royal Guard, so this will be Spanish Guard skirmishers. They're moving up as well, maybe try and get that gun. And the general is being killed off. I think that was a rogue shot there, yeah, from the artillery, because they can't even see the general unit, and he's just been killed. So that was a massive loss there. So yeah, general early kill there for the French against the Spanish, like, first layer. And yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do with these guns, whether they're going to try and reposition them or just get them out of here. There's a line infantry here though, he's actually in range of the skirmishers, and he's dueling. I thought they would win that fight eventually. Light infantry does not do so well against line infantry, but yeah, looks like, I don't know, oh, that's a pretty nasty volley there actually onto the infantry, very nasty. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like there's a little bit of confusion going on with these guns. And we got some of the artillery here also setting up 4-pounder SIG, setting up down the road. I guess maybe trying to support this infantry that is now moving up, as we do have, yeah, the Nassaus and like the just general generic Spanish infantry there setting up. They need to hold fire to these Nassau, not these Nassau, the skirms, because they're going to start shooting their own men otherwise. And that does no good for morale, friendly fire. No good. Yeah, here we go. We're going to see a big charge down the road here by Joseph's army. We'll see how they can do. And yeah, the Spanish are going to have a bit of a civil war. Those in favor of the Bonaparte and those that aren't. The gun has routed. I think it was taken out by artillery. And now it's a bit of a line fight. And these Nassaus are probably saying, what on earth are we doing here? We joined Napoleon. We did not expect to be fighting in Spain for a cause that we have no sort of care about, but yeah, that's how it goes, you know. Here's some cavalry. This is some decent cavalry, like some hussars or something here. That's Spanish hussars, but they are getting shot by their own troops, so you need to be careful of that. But let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to win? Are you Team France or are you Team Spain? I mean, really, we buy Team Spain to be on either side, as we have the Spanish fighting each other. And the Grenadiers, the Guard, smashing, and now going in for these infantry. Should win this fight easily, I think. But the cavalry's coming to countercharge. There's some lances here from the Spanish. It could cause some havoc. Some squares are being formed. Some of the Nassaus have broken there. And we see a cavalry and a hussars of the Royal Guard come forward, but they are blocked by these stakes. The French have won, but could break it themselves. Need to be careful. The Lancers are going to regroup, go for a charge here. But it's not the Lancers, the Hussars. Oh, artillery also firing in it. Definitely friendly firing there onto the Spanish infantry there, the Spanish line infantry. Breaking them in the cab there. Yeah, it's going to get away with that. That looks unlucky there from the French. And all these Hussars are doing really just standing here, just waiting patiently. I don't even think they can just walk over. I don't even think they can just walk over this thing, because they'll die. So they need to be careful. Whether they can sneak around the side. Yeah, I mean, the French have sort of won on this flank, and it also looks like they sent in their Chasseur Cheval Aragon here. Managed to rout a few things, but there are still fair decent amount of Spanish infantry in this forest here. Healthy units by the looks of it as well. Relatively regular looking, some of them. And now it looks like we've got Spanish cav flanking around. This Lancer unit that's still alive and kicking. Maybe there is a big gun battery up here, which they might try and go for, which is exactly what that Chasseur is defending over there. Yeah, seems like we've got Dorsen, the Young Guard, coming forward now. They're going in down the road. And they're going to try and get some stuff done here. Try and take the ground that Joseph's army could not quite hold on to. We'll see how they do. The Grenadiers, the Royal Guard, still looking actually pretty healthy, if it's the same unit. I think we lost like 2 guys. Might need to keep pushing forward just a little bit. The Nassaus might be getting shot in the back, I'm not sure. But yes, if you want to get involved in any of these NTW3 battles and scenarios where you're like, I feel like I could do pretty well in sort of like a Somosierra sort of scenario, feel free to join our Discord. The link is down below in the description. As always, everyone is welcome, whether you're a hardened veteran at NTW3 or whether you're a brand new player, all are welcome to get involved. We're trying to help, you know, rebuild sort of like some of these communities. Nassaus are pulling back. The cowards! How dare you fall back? No, I think this Grenadier is much... Yeah, that's be the one that's gone into combat. 50 out of 85 there. Got the Chevalier Lancers here, those famous poles that basically are the image and the face of this battle. I'm expecting these guys to do well. They are very, very nasty. I do like using this Polish unit. It's very expensive, but it's very good. And yeah, young guard coming forward here. These guys are much better in shooting than their middle or older guard counterparts. So yeah, the only good unit that I really have, because I was playing as one of these guard units, was this middle guard here. Was a pretty good melee unit. I think the guard of Paris was pretty good, which we were allowed to bring because, you know, it's a guard unit, but it's just a very different one. It's a bright green old guard, basically, it looks like. Very cool. Got a cavalry charge here as the Chevalier Lancers go in for a charge. Gets side charged here, taking on a bit of a hussar unit. It's a pretty tough unit to actually try and take out. My Chevalier Lancers here nearly did break, in fact. Took a lot more losses than I hoped to. But yeah, we did win and take out both those units, so that was a win. And you can see here more chasseurs descending, and I think trying to just make sure these units never come back, really. And there you go, guns defended. Young guard still pushing forward.
Our general is under attack.
A general under attack? Probably not. I don't know. But yeah, we have a combat. I have a combat general, Francois over here. He is, I don't know what, he might have just been shot at by a rogue bullet. I'm not sure. Yeah, the line fight's still going on. You can see he's still fighting through this forest. I'm not going to zoom in too much because you don't really get an easy sort of view in these forests. But yeah, we couldn't really go any further wider than this riverbed here. So it's very narrow. I'm going to try to follow that. You can see the artillery cheval here. Trying to move up, support its young guard. But yeah, we've got this hill as well that we can't use, unfortunately, because it would be lovely to use this when it comes to fighting these next tiers of the Spanish defense. But yeah, first tier is still holding on for now. They don't have any support. They don't have a general or anything like that, so surprising that the morale is holding this well. Doing much better than I expected, really. Yeah, here we go. Young guard coming forward again. They just keep on pushing. Really, we just need to get right into the face of these guys. The young guard are better shooters. I mean, these Voltigeurs and Chiliers, but they aren't too shabby in melee. You know, they'll probably beat these Spanish without any generals. That's for sure. And we'll see what they can do very shortly. Fire when ready. Getting some okay shots. I mean, they should rout these guys. Here we go. Looks like we're going to see a charge, actually. The Spanish, yeah, didn't really get much of a volley off. Looks like they're going to be charged here. They've got a bit of a volley there right at the death. Hopefully they'll break the Spanish first before they break. Yep, they did indeed. Can they charge into the next unit? They might be able to do exactly that. Yeah, looks like they are trying to. It looks like it's just a skirmish unit or something. It doesn't look like anything exciting. That's been broken. I don't know whether they can get any more. There's another line of... Look at that skirmish is already starting to appear out of the forest here. They might be next. But yeah, already some of the next layer of the Spanish defense being revealed, and it looks like that Spanish line is starting to just shatter. Probably because they can see their fellow units around them breaking as well, and that's just enough. And the French have had success on this first layer by the looks of it. Very nice for them. Very few losses as well, which is always good to see. Those Frenchies that for those of you that are supporting the French, there's a guy, I swear that guy there just fell all the way back here. How unfortunate, you're so far back and you get hit by a musket ball. I'm pretty sure that is what I just saw, but I'm not sure. Oh, 100%. What do we got over here? Oh, it's another one of those Chevalier Lancers. Oh, another cab charge back here. And there you go. They actually managed to get into these chasseurs cheval there. But they did get sandwiched again by the Polish Lancers, who are doing a very good job over here, just keeping this area nice and clear of any sort of Spanish cav. And there you go. I think that was the same cav unit that returned. I don't know what it was trying to do. Go for a forlorn hope, maybe a charge on something. Suchet is now arriving as well, so he is getting ready to join the fight. Looks like he's going to be taking up a position on his left flank here. Again, we couldn't really go much further left than this. there were quite a few complaints when we played this one that it just kind of like goes against the grain of how NTW3 works, which it kind of does, but it was also kind of the sense of Somosierra. It fought over a very small area, over it was basically a Spanish army protecting a road, basically the road to Madrid, and so we're trying to represent that. So the road, there isn't really a road, but we have a good hill position here, which is exactly what the Spanish did use. I guess you could say the road is almost like the riverbed here, and I guess it's like you can't really abandon, you can't ignore the Spanish. You have to engage them first before you can then carry on down the road. So, so yeah, it's kind of very similar. Somosierra, it's not an easy one to recreate without an actual map, and I doubt we'll ever get a proper map for it. There's by far and away better maps that the devs of NTW3 could be creating. But who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe many years down the line, we can come back and try again. Got some Voltigeurs of the line here doing their bit, trying to harass the skirms. There are a lot of Spanish skirms in this next layer, and I mean a lot. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a grind. I mean, we've got even some that look very similar to Redcoats here. I wonder if they are actually British troops. Could be. I don't know if they are. There are a few Spanish troops that are just armed and equipped and like dressed in British uniforms. But I have a feeling they would have been banned from taking any British sort of actual British units, since there were none present at the battle. But yeah, look at this. The Spanish army starting to appear here, and there's so much infantry in this next layer here. It's insane, and there's a decent amount of cav back here, which obviously it should hope to be limited to 2 per army. These guys are relatively heavy as well. These kind of remind me of like Cavalry Battalier. I don't know what these guys like. They look like light dragoons or something like that, very similarly dressed to the British light dragoons or the Portuguese ones. Yeah, as you can see, the guns set up over here. I think they had to bring a minimum of like 2 guns as well per army, or at least I think it was something like that, just to obviously make sure that we had these grand batteries. So yeah, it's going to be pretty rough for the French to assault these positions with all these guns set up and just pounding away on the French lines. I mean, the French are lucky that they have so much cover in these tree lines, but we'll see. Hopefully the young guard can prove themselves worthy of the name of guard. But we'll see. Maybe many of them will be promoted today to old guard. We'll see. That would be a fine day for the Imperial Army. But yes, it seems as though Dorsen's army is going to take the push. I guess Joseph's army is pretty banged up. They did kind of make most of the pushing through this first layer, but they've still got, you know, a lot of Fusiliers here, the Royal Guard, and the Grenadiers of the Royal Guard. But we'll see. Also seems as though Suchet is patiently waiting. He's got... Oh no, this is, again, more Dorsen. Wow, they have a lot of guard over here, actually. More Suchet here. I don't know if he has any, like, Grenadiers himself. It's just like all line infantry. Very few can form square. It does have, obviously, the Vistula Legion, which are not quite Grenadiers, but they are very, very good in melee, usually. So I'll be excited to see how they do. Okay, so we are back to sort of where we left off. The replay did just crash. I think, I don't know why, really, actually, to be honest. But we are back, and we are back with a skirmish fight that's going on here. We have a Young Guard, Chasseurs here, set up, just, you know, shooting away, trying to do that bit. Trying to harass the Spanish skirmishers here. I don't really know who's winning, but, well, it doesn't really look like anyone, to be honest. It's kind of hard to tell, you know, in a skirmish fight who's winning. But apparently the Young Guard skirmishers are losing slightly. Probably because of the sheer number of Spanish skirms. I mean, they've even got a second layer, which is probably shooting the back of their first layer. I'm not sure. Maybe the dip gives them a little bit of high ground to shoot over these guys. I'm not sure. Yeah. They've got so many skirms that they have a second line over here. It's insane. Again, we have some more of these British equipped sort of troops here. You can see they've got like the British uniforms. So, yeah, they are very much set up back here and ready to go. I haven't seen anything too elite, too scary just yet. I mean, it's hard to tell with the Spanish. Their units are like pickled peeled, so many different colours. We've got red, like blue, black sort of uniforms. Like these guys could be alright. I don't know. These guys kind of look like it should be like a dismounted dragoons or like a cavalry unit, with like the style of helmet they have going on. But they look like they could be okay, I guess. They look like they could be maybe like guards. We got some more like, I don't know, got all sorts of different like uniforms going on back here. But yeah, some of the Spanish lights starting to break. I think they were shooting themselves in the back. Honestly, I think that's what these guys were doing. That's probably why they broke. But we'll see the artillery over here setting up as well. I think they're about to start dueling with the. There is a French artillery piece over here as well. There's a Royal Guard artillery here. They are getting shot by skirmishers as well. There you go. That's pounding away. I think trying to duel. But here we go. A French cav unit coming through, and that might be about to go through guns. We can't really see it easily. Here we go. Spanish cav coming. Bright yellow sort of cavalry unit. Here we go. We're going to see a chasseur cheval coming to clash, and they might be able to deal with it. There is also some more chasseur cheval coming in from the flank. A bit of double trouble there as the Spanish cav is repulsed and the gun is saved. There you go. Whether this cav is going to maybe carry on the charge, maybe try and get a gun itself, I don't know. Looks like it might. Yeah, here we go. The Spanish cav going in to see if we can get a skirmisher here. But I think their real intention was to try and go for that gun. Whether they just got stuck on the Spanish skirmisher here, I don't know. Yeah, I think they did, and that artillery hit there actually was pretty devastating. Jeez, that did actually just annihilate that poor cav. So there you go. Both sides repulsing. The Spanish cav coming forward again. Maybe he's gonna make another attempt, or it's just gonna be used to guard that artillery. Who knows? It looks like Suchet is setting up some guns as well on this flank here. Again, probably to try and pound that Spanish position. I mean, the Spanish position is looking pretty strong on this hill. You see the next layer actually as well back here now. These guys that look so great look very like more like militia-y, so like you can tell from the stance or how they're holding their like muskets. Yeah, they look like they could. They're not going to do too much of the way damage, but it's just probably the sheer mass and the position they have on that hill could be pretty nasty. And there's more skirms here. My gosh, the amount of skirms they have is insane. Pounded away. It's going to be tough to see how they're going to break through all these skirms. Going to need one miraculous cav charge to go down the line or something here. It's a shame that we couldn't really use this height just to try and maybe unlock this Spanish defense. I mean, then the Spanish probably would have used it and defended it. But yeah, it would have been nice to see if the French could have maybe used it. I mean, mainly because part of the history of this battle is that the Polish lancers, which are literally actually on the edge of the hill, ran up the hill and then like attack the batteries, and I guess that would kind of be similar here. I've seen a cav unit there just go in, the Chasseur Cheval of Aragon. They're trying to go in and rout this skirmisher here. Didn't really work, unfortunately. It didn't look like it. Well, actually did break. Whether that was to French fire or to Spanish fire, who knows? They did break another one. It wasn't a great trade. One skirmisher for one cavalry is not a good trade. But yeah, as I was saying, I feel like the French maybe should have been allowed to go up onto the hill and try and then use it to unlock the second line of defense. Just to, otherwise it does quite narrow it. You could have like banned the Spanish from using it, but just allowed the French. You may have seen a huge Teutonic like or like gigantic sort of like push around here, but might have made it a little bit more interesting, a bit more spicy to see, because right now it's just looking like it's gonna be a skirmisher like duel to see whose guys are more accurate. But the Spanish are running out of skirms, but the French are running out of time a little bit. They have about half an hour really to make a move. And right now, neither side's really made too much in the way of gains. I mean, the Spanish have lost a couple of skirms, but like we saw back there, they've got more and more skirms. They need to replace them. And the French, if anything, have lost more. They lost that cav unit. They're now dragging up the Royal Guard artillery up here, and I think this is when we actually got told, oh, you're not allowed to put your artillery up here, which is a bit of a shame because this artillery on this hill, we've got a lovely angle down onto the Spanish there. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that we couldn't do just exactly that. I'm just going to fast forward while we wait, because there isn't really too much going on. We're just going to wait and see what the French do next. I mean, it's kind of like a what do you do next sort of thing. I mean, you send forward like a cavalry unit or something and try and break through. I just realized the sapper's all the way back there still. What's he doing back there? Yeah, do send forward like a cavalry unit, like maybe one of the. This is a Royal Guard unit as well, actually, for the Josephs. They've got a lot of good chevaliers actually here. Poles and guard, like Spanish Guard. Yeah, so do you send forward a cav unit and try and do with like some infantry, try and do a risky move here, try and break through? I don't know. I mean, there are the cuirassiers. I think the main idea for us was to try and get these cuirassiers down the center here, try and break through. Because if we can break this wave for the Spanish, we just thought that, to be honest, the Spanish next lines could just break from just seeing all these other units like run back into their own lines and would start to cause like a massive rout. That's what we were hoping. So if we can break this army here in front of us, there's a good chance the French will go on and win the day if they can do that. So that's something to keep in mind. This actually could be the decisive battle here to decide how the entire battle goes. The Spanish morale ain't too great. Once they see a lot of their friends break in, they all start to go like a rotten sort of a rotten building, rotten timber. Once one bit goes, the whole thing collapses in on itself. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like these Voltigare, this Legion coming forward. This gun actually is getting absolutely pounded here. I'm surprised that the Spanish guns are outdoing the French ones. The French artillerymen are supposed to be some of the finest in Europe at this point, with Napoleon himself being an artilleryman. He, you know, made sure these guys were well trained and well drilled. They're getting absolutely pounded right now. Maybe there's some Frenchies on the firing those Spanish guns, because my gosh, they're being pretty accurate. Do with some of those guard artillery over here. I mean, they're busy getting off the hill again, so I don't know what they're aiming to do, but they need to be careful because there is Spanish cav loitering back here. You know, there's this heavy cav. I don't think that will come forward, but there is other Spanish cav loitering. You know, could go for something here. And you never know, like a risky volley from one of these Spanish infantry can just take them out. And they're actually getting pounded pretty hard at these artillery cheval of the Royal Guard here. They got two of them. I just realised. I thought it was the same unit, but it's no. I think it is actually. It is still the same unit. I thought it was just two separate units. Got another Royal. Well, yeah, that's the Spanish one over there. I'm getting my guards mixed up. Oh no, that one is also Spanish guard. There is there it is. That's the old guard one I'm looking for. Be interesting to see what they do now. Looks like they're gonna set up their guns as close as they can, really. Looks like they can still get a fairly decent angle here. Maybe try and duel stuff. Problem is they need to be careful of this this cav back here. And I imagine there's some other cav as well dotted about. If they could put some stakes up, I don't know if they have any units that can do that. Now that sapper and miner back there probably could, but he is not available right now. And yeah, here we go. Look, that cav is posturing. That is ready to go. Whether the French have anything really that can stop them. Maybe these Voltigare could do that. Here we go. That cav is going in again. This cav has routed once, so maybe it will get routed again pretty quickly. But the guns, you need to be careful. They're going to mean business. Oh yeah, they're going to go for that artillery cheval there. And here we go. This Polish cav is going to go in. I don't know if they might have just saved it. The gun crew's done like they left either. Yeah, that cav broke almost instantly. That was very smartly done there by the Poles. Barely breaking a sweat. They're also chipping away at these skirmishes. Just about. Oh my gosh, that's. I don't know if you saw that. One of those skirmishes just got absolutely deleted. Yeah, this one might break, and then they can break this other one. This side over here would be pretty weak. I mean, not weak, but like, you know, more vulnerable. But the skirmishers, you know, make a nice screen they do for the infantry. So if they could get rid of that screen, they could certainly use it as an opportunity to bring forward their own infantry. Maybe make a rush for that this cannon as well with a cav unit. But look at that! I think the artillery, yeah, look at that. The Royal Guard artillery is actually being routed by the Spanish artillery, which is incredibly accurate all of a sudden now. Yeah, these guards are just going to run for their lives. It's unfortunate, really. And the cav back here is also being pounded, it seems, by the guns. They need to be careful. But But the French are getting pretty close now. The Voltigare is getting a little too close, I think, to the front lines here. Going to get absolutely shot to pieces. Also occupying this tree line, though. To be honest, I thought I might be okay with this. Apparently not. I think the other gun on the other side, yeah, this one was also routed. So yeah, the Spanish artillery seems to be just even more accurate than the French ones now. I don't know why, probably because they just command an absolutely amazing hill. There you go, that Voltigare broken there. We're seeing Suchet come forward here. With the 115th Line Infantry. Here they come. Marching forward. It seems like the French are messing around now. They're done with this skirmishing phase. They're ready to get these infantrymen into the front line. If they can get them in range, which it will be pretty soon, batter away these skirmishers. To be honest, might be what was the best idea anyway. And you can always see whether the enemy is left its auto fire on as well. Because these guys might just open fire and shoot their own men in the back, which will be funny to watch. If you're rooting for the French anyway. If you're rooting for Spain, maybe not so much. But they're getting fairly close to the French. Maybe go for a rush with a cannon. There you go, look at that. Yeah, they open fire and just gun down their own skirmishers. Sometimes it does happen, you never know. Yeah, they did actually forget to take those guys off auto fire. And yeah, there you go. That's one way to get rid of the skirmishers. Get the enemy to do it for you. What are these units coming forward here? Oh, they look like more of the same as what we've already seen in that first forest layer. Sometimes I always get worried seeing like black, well, sort of like navy and white uniforms for the Spanish, because sometimes it's like the Walloon Guard, which are pretty damn good. Yeah, shoot your own skirmish. Come on, guys. You need to rout on these guys. But here we go. Yeah, you can see Suchet move forward. He's gonna start opening fire. Start dueling with these boys. Problem is the guns are going to have such a good position. They're just pounding this unit. Yeah, look at that. Most of them getting up for now, but that could change quite easily. A general has been killed. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about this. So, yeah, the general was actually this Chevalier here. And he is literally the only guy here. He was just mounting the crest ever so slightly. And a Spanish gun took him out. I guess they probably didn't know it's the general or what. But, yeah, he just, like, he was the only guy that could be really seen over that hill, and he got sniped. And that, unfortunately, is Joseph, like Joseph's cause here. His general, that was devastating. And look at this. This is pretty devastating as well. Look at the young guard here getting absolutely pounded by artillery as they come forward. There's just no messing about now by the French. They are coming forward with everything they've got. Joseph is going in down the center. Probably not the best time to be doing this for his call, with his general just falling. The cry will have gone up that the general is dead for that call, and I'm sure that will be starting to make the French shake in their boots. They are pushing for the gun here, so we're going to see an all-out push here. You can see Spanish line infantry, they're starting to falter already, getting hit by that gun. There's a cav unit sitting in behind here. It's one of these heavy cav units, and it's going to, yeah, you can already see a few units here breaking. That's already causing a bit of a morale issue. They have got the guards here that might be able to steady the line, but we will see as the cav goes in. Doesn't seem like they're going to form square. What is going on here with the guard? Look at that, they're forming square and still breaking these two-thirds of the guard. And Joseph's corps might be finished before it's even really got into the fight. What is this? Old men of Spain, loyal Bonapartists. So yeah, the Spanish royalists showing the Bonapartists which side they really should have been on. And yeah, look at that routing. A lot of Spanish units here. We do have young guards setting up behind here. They might just need to honestly fire upon these Spanish units. The grenadier of the guard that's still alive, and I mean it's not healthy, but it's not broken yet instantly. But yeah, it might get broken here in a moment if it doesn't get a move on. Because that cav is catching it. And if the young guard have to fire on it, they have to fire on it. I'd open fire now if that was you boys. There you go, I think they broke that cav, and that was lucky. But yeah, you can see Suchet is already being forced back. Cav going in now, here we go. Chevalier Lance is going in for the guns. I don't know if they're going to get it, and there's a Hussar of the Royal Guard in here as well. And it seems like a bit of a pathfinding mess that's gone on there. The Chevalier broke almost instantly. That was the combat gen. The Hussars here might break the guns. I don't know. They should really. Yeah, there you go. They have got the guns. Will they be able to carry on? Who knows? They need to really try and get into the back lines here. What has gone in here? We've got the Polish Lancers going in. Looks like they've been repulsed by some squares. And it looks like the Poles are getting a little bit closer to the front line here. This is Suchet's Poles actually. They're looking the wrong way. What are they doing? Form up. They're actually breaking now anyway. It doesn't matter. And it looks like Cuirassiers coming in as well. And they're going to try and smash these things. Oh, going a little bit chaotic now for the Spanish lines. I know we've got a Young Guard in here. We've got Cuirassiers in here. They're probably all charging each other a little bit. It's a bit messy, to be honest. Here we go. Suchet coming forward. They can get one good volley off here, the French, before charging in. They will do just fine. Oh, gosh, the artillery in the next layer is just pounding these Young Guard and Cuirassiers. Hopefully it's doing enough damage to their own troops as well, but the Spanish probably think it's screw, who cares? And the Spanish are actually counter-charging Suchet. And they actually might win that melee fight. What the heck? Young Guard trying to flank the Spanish here, trying to do their best. Like I said earlier, these Young Guard aren't really the greatest in melee. They are better shooters, but we've got to use them aggressively. We've got to get up this hill. And this is probably the quickest way we're going to do it right now. Looks like more, yeah, like this sort of Visceral Legion being forced back. The French probably aren't being pleased at all by this. Probably they're getting very uneasy. But yeah, more Young Guard. And Visceral Legion here setting up. They're trying to go in. Going to get a charge off. Oh my gosh. Don't know what's going on here. Yeah, a bit of pathfinding maybe. I don't know. But they're going in for a bayonet charge. Should route this unit pretty quickly. The Poles. They don't mess around with the Visceral Legion. They will make you pay with blood. They want their Polish nationality, but I mean they're getting a good side shot onto the side of the Visceral Legion while they're fighting. That's the problem. Yeah, morale is starting to be affected there. Young Guard are getting routed over here, along with Suchet in that front line. They have made it quite a way though, and they have cleared out, and they're almost onto the second layer. So we have kind of cleared out that first, well, I guess the second layer of the Spanish. Certainly on that far flank, so many more to come. And there's another big cav unit here. Looks like it could be like the Guards or the Cavalry. So we may have been wrong about the not bringing any heavies, because it seems like they might have. And yeah, you can see there the Chevalier Lancers going in, trying to get a bit of a charge off. The Spanish infantry here, whatever this is it's doing okay. These dismounted sort of like Dragoon-like units. She's really going again here. Look, they're just charging in. Yeah, there you go. Make them pay for going for a bayonet charge. How dare they? Oh my gosh, the artillery though is being brutal to those Polish Lancers. We're now going to try and go for a rear charge. And yeah, they've got plenty of targets. There you go, nice rear charge. It's like hammer and anvil. It's like good old classic Total War. And it looks like the cavalry might have routed anyway. They got just hit so many times, so they helped rout those Spanish units, saved the Young Guard in front of them, and marched them a good job there. We have Suchet now shifting across. Joseph has still got some of these guard units here that are returning. We're seeing more of the Young Guard shifting forward here, including the middle guard. They are now coming up, and the reserves are getting ready. Whether they can make a decisive push soon, I do not know. They need to try. It's got to be now or never. They've got to go for this point here. It looks pretty weak. At the moment, there probably is some hidden stuff, though. There's only a few skirms and the guns, but I imagine infantry are setting up here. Probably some cavalry as well. The skirmishers, though, are being a constant threat, because there's no real cavalry to just come and clean them up. And if there is, it's getting pounded by artillery as it comes forward here. There is Somosierra is turning into a very painful sort of battle for the French to try and push up on. And yeah, you can see Young Guard here as they just try and get into this valley are getting absolutely pounded right now. It's turning into a bit of a bloodbath down here. Again, another pretty nasty volley onto that Young Guard, and that routs it. Most of them are getting up, but it doesn't matter. They're shattered. They're exhausted. These guys have been in melee, and now they're having to be forced to march up this hill. So yeah, I don't think these guys are ever going to make it. They had a long way to get back to these lines. As you can see, the French are reforming up. Haven't really exactly taken any ground, but the Spanish have been kicked out of their original starting position, and I doubt they're going. I don't think they can really move forward again. That was one of the rules for the Spanish, is they have to kind of they can't reinforce each other. So when one Spanish army gets engaged, they're on their own really. Problem is that they're all so close to each other. But they can kind of support each other with the guns. But here we go. France is coming forward once again. And looks like, though Suchet does have like a decent amount of line infantry on this side over here, it looks like the main push is probably going to come across on this side here. You can see lots of young guard forming up. Joseph's going in here as well with his guard. We'll see how they can do. But yeah, there you go. Spanish infantry starting to appear. A mixed variety of lots of different units here. I'm sure they're not happy seeing these units route past them, and they need to get a move on to the French here. They need to get up onto this hill and just get going. Because the Spanish can, like, if they can use the Spanish routing troops to cover, then they can get in there and get some work done. Plus, the longer they stand there, the more chance they have of the artillery just absolutely pounding them.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
What have we got coming forward here? Oh, it's that Royal Guard Chevalier Lancer that broke so quickly earlier. One of Joseph's, the combat jet. It's going through its own units here, though. It needs to be careful. It could slow the charge down. Still more Spanish coming up. I don't know if they should really be supporting each other. I feel like they're supposed to be further back, but who knows? What do I know at this point? It looks like they're going in for the skirms here. Dorsen going in. Well, Francois, this is going to be a combat jet. Needs to be careful he doesn't lose him. Yeah, more of like the Volga guard coming forward. Oh my gosh, the gun just absolutely pounded Francois. Oh my gosh, this unit was over 100. It's already lost 30 men in that volley there. Getting routed almost instantly. Can these guys form square? Will they form square? They will indeed. This is a Cuirassier unit. Spanish here. It's bright red uniform. They brought so many heavies. We were so wrong that they were like, they won't bring heavies. They won't try and use those against us. But they did. Oh, they did. The young guard here being forced to go in. Just seen their general route. This might be costly, to be honest. Like, the generals for the French is routing at the wrong point. Who's there? The guard here might be actually able to use these guns. And they actually break just as they kind of like nearly get there. The square, I think, is just being used to hold this corner's point. They could bring forward this other one and make it form square. That would be pretty good. And then they could have the back one charge forward. Like almost like as an overlap. Because the longer it stays here in square, it's just going to get shot by the units that aren't in square. But yeah, as you can see, the charge is not going so well at the moment for the young guard. They're getting repulsed. And these aren't great Spanish units either. We've got the Chevalier Lancer, the Spanish guard. He is managing to get some joy helping to route that Spanish infantry here. And again, down comes those damn Cuirassiers trying to stop Grenadiers. The guard here gets those guns. They have neutralized them, but I don't think they're taking them out of the Spanish guard. And the Spanish loyalists are kicking these guys out. Suchet on this side is making a bit of a push. He's not quite yet fully committed, like on the right-hand side for the French. And you can see more and more of the French setting up over here. It's kind of like the last sort of reserves almost going in now. It's do or die. The problem is that this is also affecting French morale, seeing all their own like French units on a route. You can, I mean, actually, yeah, concerned friends routing. So that's a problem. And this Cuirassier unit here is probably enjoying mopping up these Spanish guards who are just stuck in melee, so they have no choice but to not form square and just be at the mercy of this heavy cav. I mean, you need just good volley into the side of this Cuirassier, and they could maybe get it here if Dorsen could get a good volley off with his Polish infantry. Might just about route it, see. I don't know. Look at that, the Poles charge in. They can't shoot us in grim melee. Oh, jeez, as we went into melee, a pretty nasty volley there. Actually, the Poles kind of walked it off, didn't even give a damn. Another unit coming forward here, more young guard going in. If we just engage these units, problem is they're very tired already getting to the front lines. I don't know if this is, yeah, 67 out of 135. That's already a re-rallied unit for sure, but it does keep these guys out of melee. Maybe gives guys a chance to win the melee fights. Got Vistula Legion getting to the top of this hill though, and managed to get the artillery crew again off the guns. A damn Cuirassier is still alive though. How? Again, the French picked off this hill, and that time that volley from the square does break the Cuirassiers. Very nicely done there by the middle guard. Fusiliers, very nicely done. We need to get them up to the front lines now. Fusilier Grenadiers, get them in, try and smash through. They are our greatest chance. Suchet here, using this tree line to try and flank around the Spanish. May have been actually probably the better way of approach, because we can try and use this tree line to our advantage. But yeah, instead we went for this huge push on this side here. It just did not seem to work, and then it seems like the French are going to get kicked off. The middle guard here are actually smashing through multiple lines. They're still doing okay. They're still rallying. They were green morale, now they're down to red. That's the problem. And they're not going to get through this next line. We need more French units up here, but there's none alive. Maybe the middle guard needed to come up earlier, but now we're into grenadiers. Look at all of these grenadiers coming down. This is insane. Not what we needed in this final push. There you go. It looks like the French are going to probably get routed here, I think. Middle guard just getting shot in the back. One of the things I was thinking about while doing this, watching this replay and thinking over it when we did it, is maybe we could have split up, like had the final lines a little bit further apart. I know it's not so much on the hill, but we could have the final one on this plateau back here maybe, or a little bit further back, just so they couldn't support each other so much, to make it a little bit harder. Or maybe, if we didn't do that, we should have limited the amount of funds the Spanish could use, because the French were fairly limited, obviously, in what they could do when it came to sort of like units they could bring, and also where they could exactly attack, which kind of works in favor of the Spanish. So yeah, we could have possibly made this hill playable for the French, but not for the Spanish. Maybe had allowed the French to descend a little bit more, and like attack this Spanish line a bit easier if we weren't to spread the Spanish out. But yeah, it was just a little too much in the end for the French, who did kind of nearly get through a couple of lines here. There's a general dying, as my general actually, I think he died. I think he was the middle guard. Oh no, it was Francois again, I think. Yeah, he died in the front lines with his men. The middle guard were broken as well in the end. Yeah, they just wasn't enough to break through. Fortunate. So yeah, maybe we should have allowed this to be playable for the French. Allow them to sort of flank around, maybe descend a little bit onto the second layer of battery, just to make it a little bit easier, make it a bit more interesting. Or maybe we should have just pushed hard on this side, on this left here, where Suchet is still in the game actually, but he is not looking good for morale, and obviously numbers are not looking good as Spanish routed the French right, and will be swinging over forces there. And yeah, at this point it doesn't really matter if they are aggressive or not. There's not much left. They might as well just go and mop up the French. The Sapper and Miner, though, has made it to the front lines. Good job, guys. Good job. But yeah, it's just a few thoughts that I had while we were doing this. We also weren't sure whether the Spanish had 8 cab units. It seemed like more, but maybe they did. Who knows? Yeah, it was an interesting one, that's for sure. And it is going to be a change in history, as the French, who historically won Somosierra, are going to lose it here today. The Poles and the Cavalry did not quite manage it. Neither could the Guards that were involved here today. They did their best. Damn well did their best. But it was not enough. Yeah, these Poles, they're doing okay. They're actually winning their fight, a few of them, of these French and Polish units. But the Spanish has got sheer mass, and also once these units arrive, they'll be able to get around the flank, almost encircle the French to the left, really. And yeah, the French have just got like nothing back here, really. There's a couple of Voltigeurs, and that is about it. A sad day for the Guard, a sad day indeed. The French are going to be defeated, and yes, it has been a fun one, that's for sure. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It certainly was something a little bit different, a bit more of a grindy, sort of like, instead of like a flanking one where, you know, you see great maneuvers of people getting around the back of others. It's just a straight up slugfest, which, to be honest, is not really what anything is designed for. Straight up slugfest, kind of like the idea is trying to be a bit more fluid, get around the flanks, or some mayhem. Yeah, it's a fun one still. Still a fun one, very fun one. And it also shows off a battle you guys may never have heard of. So hopefully you learned something there. Which is always, you know, kind of like part of the aim of the channel, is for you guys to learn something new about a new battle, or a faction, or some sort of unit that took part in in history. So yeah, you now learn about the Polish Lancers at Somosierra. If you didn't know about them. And if I didn't teach you enough, go and Google them. It's a pretty interesting battle. One that shows that even like a small amount of men can have such a huge impact in one battle alone. It's a shame that the Polish infantry couldn't do as much, it seems. But to be honest, our Polish Lancers in today's battle did not do that great actually. I kind of didn't waste mine, but I lost a fair few too many in those early cav fights. Poles here, yeah, I mean, getting outmassed by the Spanish in a melee fight, that is shameful stuff. I mean, they might rally here, they might do okay, but losing slightly, maybe not. Maybe should have countercharged, might have helped. And they're actually getting shot in the side by their own French colleagues. That might have not helped with their morale. But they're also routing themselves. And yeah, this will be the collapse here of Suchet. We've got back here, Mikolaj, Napoleon, Broniatowski. I probably butchered his name, and I do apologise. Mikolaj. Yeah, you can see the Spanish columns coming in. They've still got a lot of healthy units here, including those grenadiers somewhere. But here we go. Spanish infantry going in, taking out the Frenchies. And once one breaks, it affects all the others really. Pistol Legion there breaking, infantry there breaking, and I think that's all Suchet's stuff gone. There's a couple of French units over here that have rallied, including the Guard of Paris, you know, honourable men, you know, they want to fight for their emperor wherever they can. What else rallied? Oh, the Bard and Voltigeurs again. Alright, we'll just fast forward at this point. There actually wasn't that long left in the time. So yeah, the French really did have to kind of go for it. It's a do or die, really. I think that's the final general dead. Yeah, Suchet, I think, has just fallen, or his combat gen has fallen. Whether it also would have been different, whether we had actual generals as well. That might have also just been made a difference, which is kind of bizarre since Napoleon was actually present, why we didn't have a combat gen at least. With Napoleon actually being present at this battle, we probably should have had at least one actual general. That might have made a difference. But yeah, it's still a fun one. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. And yeah, we'll just fast forward until we get to the end results. So yeah, hopefully I have put them up for you to have a look at. So yeah, thank you to everyone that took part in this one. This is from my perspective, so you're actually going to see my kills in this one. I don't know how many, I can't remember how many kills I did get. I know my middle guard did perform the best though. So yeah, if we have a look here, yeah, 115 kills. Not that great really. My young guard didn't really get the chance to do what they really do best, which is shoot. They kind of got sent into melee. So yeah, only 2 units getting like really into 100 kills. My lance is doing my 4th best, getting 62 kills. So I guess that's kind of good. You know, those guys being the main man in this battle really. But there you go. There are my kills. Nothing really exciting, to be honest. Yeah, thank you very much to everyone that took part in this battle. It's very much appreciated. If you want to get involved in some of these battles, like I said, join the Discord. The link's down below in the description. And yeah, if you haven't got the NTW3 mod and you want to check it out, it's also in the description. It's a must-have if you are a fan of NTW. Oh, well, Napoleon Total War, really. I don't know why I was going to call it NTW. But there you go, guys. Until the next time, I'll see you then. Bye for now.